Musashi was born in 1584, during one of the most violent periods in Japanese history. By the age of 13, he fought his first duel, and won, not with elegance, not with honor, but with brutal efficiency. While other warriors trained inside schools, Musashi trained in real combat. Every duel was life or death. As he grew older, Musashi wandered Japan as a ronin, a masterless samurai, challenging the greatest fighters in the country. One by one, they fell. Musashi became famous for fighting differently. He used two swords at once. He arrived late to duels to unnerve opponents. He studied psychology as much as combat. To him, winning was everything. Then came the duel that became legend. Musashi vs Sasaki Kojiro, Japan's deadliest swordsman. The fight took place on a remote island, surrounded by silence. Musashi arrived hours late. Kojiro was furious, exactly as Musashi planned. Using a wooden sword carved from a boat oar, Musashi struck first, and the duel ended almost instantly. But Musashi was more than a warrior. As he aged, he turned inward. He painted, he meditated, he wrote philosophy. Near the end of his life, he wrote the Book of Five Rings, a guide to combat, discipline, and strategy still studied centuries later. To Musashi, the sword was never just a weapon. It was a path to mastering yourself. More than 60 duels, 0 defeats. Centuries later, the name Miyamoto Musashi still echoes through history. Not just as a samurai, but as a legend. Most samurai mastered the sword. Miyamoto Musashi mastered people. He didn't just defeat opponents physically. He broke them mentally. Long before the duel even began, Musashi understood something terrifying. Fear slows people down. Anger clouds judgment. Ego creates mistakes. So instead of only sharpening his sword, he studied human emotion. He would intentionally arrive late to duels, sometimes hours late. Not because he was careless. Because every second his opponent waited, their frustration grew stronger. Musashi manipulated everything around the fight. The timing, the environment, even the sunlight. In some duels, he positioned himself so the sun hit directly into his opponent's eyes. Small advantage, massive impact. Other times, he used unconventional weapons. Wooden swords, longer blades, two swords at once. Not because tradition mattered less to him, but because unpredictability terrified people. Musashi wanted opponents uncomfortable, confused, emotional, because emotional fighters make fatal mistakes. The greatest example came during his duel with Sasaki Kojiro, Japan's most feared swordsman. Musashi arrived extremely late. Kojiro stood waiting under the hot sun, furious. Every minute sharpened his anger. Then Musashi stepped off the boat carrying a wooden sword carved from an oar. Disrespectful, humiliating, psychological warfare. Kojiro attacked emotionally. Musashi stayed calm, and within moments, the duel was over. People thought Musashi's greatest strength was talent. It wasn't. It was discipline. He stayed calm while others panicked. He stayed focused while others got emotional. He understood that battles are often decided in the mind first, and with weapons second.